Welcome to the Temple of Truth. Tonight, please, brethren, as you are joining and taking your seat, remember that after reading the caption of the broadcast, the next thing is the description of the broadcast. And the next is to like your offering. Then share, to invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun today, Mayegun is live. Mayegun's diary political. The diary and the political. So it simply means that at any point in time, now or in the future, that you want to dig into an accurate sort of like record of the activities, the actions, the inaction, the conspiracies, and every other vice of these rogues. There is no way you are going to search with some keywords on social media or on the internet the Mayegun's Diary Political, a repository of record for all these events. Tonight, as the journey towards another determinant event, which is a charade, national charade, with the impression that Nigerians will have a chance to decide whether they want to continue with Tinubu or not. But we have all been seeing these different players featuring, in the arena, either for or against. We have seen enough of the Tinubu's camp swelling with characters who were supposed to act as, opposition to the same ruling party on behalf of the people. So it all seemed that Tinubu is coasting to a possible, second term, whether they like it or not. But whether they like it or not is also a statement from Tinubu's side, right? However, who are they? Well, as much as it might appear that those who were supposed to challenge a call or help or join others in salvaging the contraption have all joined him. So it's like, who else remains? But there are still some day, as they say. People will tell you to Bible tells you not, like, fear not. But in Nigeria, there is this subconscious warning that says, fear not, especially when it comes to their agitation for power and for record. Even those who have, attained power in that contraption of one time or the other went to this same hegemony in the north. So fear not. So far, so good. If I have to kind of like make this simple for us to understand this conversation tonight, is that Tinubu has failed. However, some will say that depends on who is saying that. So if you are an opposition, you have all the evidence to say, with what Nigerians are facing economically, as well as the other kind of problems, including the major one, the insecurity, this alone, if you have to rate Tinubu, it will be rated failure. While others who are like Vuvuzela's propaganda handles continue to push the narrative that his policies will take time, blah, blah, blah. Now, on the part of those who feels the brunt, you can say the proper Nigerians are those who are feeling the brunt of Tinubu's regime. And if they have a choice, they are likely to, rejected Tinubu. Those ones are there. Then you have the political class, by design, by sheer, choice or whatever it is, that they are now outside the corridor of power. So those ones who are pretty much now re-echoing the cries of the other larger demography, the Nigerians who are affected, millions of them. So these ones who are the politicians, right? They are re-echoing their cries and then want to build their political capital on that. Now, this group are those who are the day that want Tinubu out. But in the face of the whole thing, right? You see the group who are the political class. I have not started mentioning names yet, okay? We're going to get to that part. So this political group who are like the ones who are acting as, the opposition, planning coalition against Tinubu. Remember, they want to leverage on the misery that Tinubu has unleashed on the people. So, to them, when you begin to look at the names and those who are the drivers, they are from northern Nigeria, right? And to them, or to others, were like, okay, hang on. Is sending Tinubu away about power or about his failure in governance? Now, you see this kind of like two questions or so is probably yet to be answered. Maybe they will be answered at the end of the day, because others who have managed to say something, they said, well, it is both. Without power, you can't help the people. Without the people, you can't get power. So at the end of the day, the people will be made to queue behind their oppressors too, who are without power. Because now that these ones have no power, so they would not appear as oppressors to the people that they've once oppressed. So in the course of those who need freedom from Tinubu and his gang, let's put it that way. And why is that? Because it is Tinubu and his gang who have helped to bring about the current whatever everyone is facing. And they have all the resources to actually end it, for God knows reasons why this is happening. And yeah, I think it's not even like for God knows reasons why. Because what I mean by that is this: their policies on economy, as much as people have been exposing them, their own wastages, corruption, impunity, so many other things that have compromised what could have helped to stabilize your system, then coupled with other external interests. The external interest whose interest formulate or influenced the policies that continue to destroy Nigeria. The policies they are telling you to give time. Do you get that now? So in the long run, the northern Nigeria, who are pretty much vocal now, one of them is Aliyu. He was Tinubu's senior special advisor, senior advisor, special advisor to Tinubu on political affairs, something like that, right? So he served with Tinubu for 2 years, according to him. And what he saw was so shocking for him to handle, because he quite agreed, according to him, that Bukwari did not deliver. That means Bukwari failed. But there are some of them, somehow, who have heard so much about how Tinubu transformed Lagos. But until when they got in, then they realized that, what did they find? That Tinubu is a total disaster. And this is not just Tinubu. I mean, when you say Tinubu, you're talking about Tinubu and those he appointed to man critical institutions, making critical decisions. So that's somebody from the inside. But there is more. So for a brother, right? Let's hear this first part of Audu's supposed revelation on why the North and by extension Nigerians would want Tinubu out, and he resigned because he want to work. I mean, he's interested in working against Tinubu continuing. So in all of this, so what would the document time? Let's start with this.
I know you probably answered this question innumerable times, but bear with us because this is the first time you're appearing on this program. Just remind us why you resigned, because resignation is quite a big step, isn't it?
Perhaps. I mean, it's a one part to declare my intention and make it known to God and to man that I'm no longer involved in this, and not even my silence can be misquoted for approval, you know. So I did what I have to do. I mean, in all sense of honesty and you know, sincerity, I couldn't remain in the government knowing I was at a point where I was convinced. It was a matter of conviction. I was convinced that it is not what I expect it to be, and it's definitely not what it should be. You know, I mean,
what was it about it that disappointed you?
The sheer display of unsportsmanliness. I mean, if, for the lack of better word to use, if that exists, I mean, we need to create a society where we say it's okay to healthily compete, and it's okay to have a winner and to have those who don't win, because they don't really lose. Nobody really loses. You know, the only man who loses is the man who doesn't try. You know, I mean, we need to make it normal that, you know, not winning is a part of winning. You don't win now, you work on winning next time.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand how that applies to your resignation.
Exactly.
With particular with focus on the government that you were part of.
Yeah, the government.
Because you're speaking in parables.
The government I'm part of. No, it's straightforward. You see, the most uncomfortable part of it that I've come to realize with my resignation is how we are very comfortable with pretending that our problem exists, or we acknowledge it exists. We have the energy to solve the problem, but rather expend that energy in avoiding the consequences of solving a problem. We want to build. Something is in our way. We could use the energy to go through it, but we rather sidestep it and know that thing is forever coming to haunt us. It's a circle.
Yeah, but there must have been specific things that happened while you were there.
The FCT minister,
right, that's one of them,
is in PDP,
right,
but he controls the APC in Rivers State and in FCT.
Right.
I am a card-carrying member of the APC in FCT. I ran for local government chairman in FCT in APC 2015. I did not win the primary ticket, but I was instrumental to our winning the local government. We were in opposition at the time. Abdullahi Adamu Candido was our candidate that won the primary election. You know, the political elite in party secretariat wanted to ruin that because they wanted someone else. They wanted to be the, you know, I was working in Accra at the time. I kept flying in. I was the youngest, or about it. Or maybe one person was younger than me, the son of the late House of Rep member. You know, but I went around to all of the aspirants and I told them, you all wanted to win. You knew only one person was going to win. We had 32 people who indicated interest. 16 of us bought form. Of the 16 of us, we all knew what person was going to win. So if you really love the country and you love the party and the person who wins, you're going to work with him to deliver on what you want to deliver. I mean, basically, in our case, what has happened is we have a Wike, who is a member of the PDP, destroying the PDP with the support of Mr. President, because the office of the minister of the FCT is not a political position, it's a state power. So if you give that state power to back someone to destroy opposition, let's remind ourselves that the fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is president today is thanks to the existence of opposition. He might have played a huge role in keeping opposition alive, and he has gotten the biggest reward from installing himself practically, that's okay. But what isn't okay is now destroying the opposition because you don't want rivalry. You can't sell me liberalized economy but monopolized politics. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You are against monopoly in economy, but you are promoting monopoly in politics. Economy is a subset of your politics.
But do you think that, and I mean, there are people who will see the point that you're making, but do you think that in the same way that you're criticizing Nyesom Wike, who is in the PDP but is influential in the APC, do you think that your position...
Nigerians.
I know you probably answered...
I hear people declaring for APC, saying that they want to continue the good job of Mr. President, the good job of people dying every day, the good job of Naira falling every day. I feel so ashamed that we are going to the level where sacrificing, people will come and say, look, I want to continue the good job of Buhari. What is the good job of Buhari? Of hunger is a good job, of poverty is a good job, of insecurity is a good job, of the economy falling is a good job. It's such a shameful thing. I can't believe that somebody will come out in today's Nigeria and say, I want to continue where Mr. Buhari has stopped. I hear people...
Now, Audu Aliyu is trying to take a moral ground, but he kept perambulating about. All right? I mean, it would make sense to say somebody who is with Tinubu is now pleading the case of the opposition. So, on a moral ground, Tinubu cannot be preaching liberalize the economy, which means everybody is free, it's a free for all, you do what, you know what I mean? And then be monopolizing politics. So that seems pedestrian for anybody to resign off. But there are people that will say, oh yeah, on a moral ground, I don't feel comfortable being in such a cycle of people. So I decided to resign. Because I could, with a Wike, be controlling APC and PDP in River States, and at the same time controlling APC and maybe PDP too in FCT. And then Tinubu is supporting him. So it sounds like a moral challenge. When someone feels morally challenged and they are like, no, I can't pretend this is normal. But Baba, you collected appointment from a drug dealer. Abba, now. Let's be real now, please now. I beg. A certificate forger. With all the evidence, yourself as a true Muslim, you campaigned for a drug baron. Probably in the name of your party, you know, like they will say, we have to do it in the name of our party. But the APC implosion is near. And that is why people like this, because Charles actually pressed him further, you know, like pressed him further to say, oh, no. That is not really, I mean, I don't buy that alone. There must be other things. Like, how would you access the government that you are part of in 2 years? Aliyu realized that they are spending more money on propaganda. They are plotting and planning propaganda than actually governing the country. Propaganda that makes them look good on paper. Shine things. But you are there when they are planning them. They send you to go and do some. They send you to TV, onto the TV to go and lie to the people. Again, you will say on the moral ground, that how can I continue to be part of this when we have serious problems? The problem you are seeing today, they've always been there. APC came and they make it worse. People protested because of increase in fuel price. People have been protesting the increase in fuel price since 1992. When I was a little boy, I've been seeing people protesting for one thing or another, going on strike. People protest because their salary are not paid, all that stuff. But when we get to 2015, Nigeria was then dealing with what seemed to be a fresh problem at the national scale. Terrorism, Boko Haram terrorism.